All right, it's 6:30. I'm going to call the meeting to order. January 11th, roll call, present except for Shelley. Attest to publication.
I saw it posted.
Thank you, Joni. Approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Joni, seconded by Tina. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll read the district mission, vision, and values tonight. Bangor School District, Bangor Pride, a small school building big futures. An innovative small school creating excellence through personalized learning and relationships for all. Student-centered, safety, opportunities for all, small class sizes, physically sustainable, foster community, continuous improvement, and professionalism. And then our School District of Bangor Board of Education collective commitments. As a member of the Bangor School Board, I will be an active listener who is open-minded, respectful, and inquisitive. Together, with one collective voice, we are committed to forward thinking while strategically prioritizing for our students, staff, and community now and into the future. Public comment? Approval of the minutes from the December 21st regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve those meeting minutes. Second.
Motion by Lori, seconded by Joni. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Special reports. Students, student report. Come on up.
This month, for January, there are finals in the high school next week on Thursday the 19th and Friday the 20th. There's a high school winter formal dance on Saturday the 21st. There will be an honors choir and band this month. There's the Midwest Plays Classic boys and girls basketball at the lacrosse center this Saturday. The elementary school's word of the month is honesty, and then there is a clothing exchange held this week.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much, girls. Have a great night. Thanks for coming. All right, next item, candidates for school board election. This is informational. From the north, myself, I will run uncontested. At large, Jack Ligo filed non-candidacy papers. Thank you, Jack, for your 3 years of service to the board. And Kelly Crutchen? Okay, will run uncontested for this open seat. And the election is April 4th. Thank you. All right, PLC's at work.
Yeah, I just added that again. If there are current board members who would like to join the team for the PLCs at Work convention, those dates are July 11th to the 14th. I did have a conversation with Kelly already and reached out to her, as I did with the candidates last year, to offer a time. So we're meeting in 2 weeks to kind of just go through how the board works and all of those types of things. I gave those dates to her and asked her to think about that as well. So that may be a good fit if there are not current board members that would like to attend. So she was looking at those dates as well. So good conversation with her. And one way or the other, we'd love to have another board member attend as we have in the past.
Thank you. Policy Committee. Joni?
The three of us, which is myself, Jack, and Lisa, met on January 4th. Neola does a good job of giving Dave and Neola obviously weed through them, and we take a look at the existing policy along with the markups for their suggestions. I think there was only a couple that were mandatory, the rest of them being recommended for compliance purposes. The list looks really long, but several of them are three-peats, a change in every level of the same basic policy. So hopefully everybody took a chance to look at the draft policies in the board docs and these updates, so you have a good idea of what we'll be talking about later.
No action this evening.
No, the action will be down later.
All right, thank you. Got it. District financials, financial documents.
I did have just one email, or Angie and I just had one question, specifically asking about some fundraisers, the chocolate sales that the choir department or music department had done, tuition for some students at Catholic Charities, specifically about that, and then some FFA expenses tied to their fall trip and their fruit sales. So those were a couple that stood out to folks as they reviewed them, and I think we got those questions answered. So if there's no other questions, we'd look for approval of the financials.
I'll make a motion to approve the financials if there are no questions.
I'll second.
Motion by Tina, seconded by Joni to approve the financials as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. District reports, Bangor School District Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2023.
Yeah, I think just in general, we have a short agenda tonight when we think about the fact that our last meeting was right before Christmas break, and then we've only had 3 weeks because we moved meetings forward a week, and then so 2 weeks of school coming back this week. But two things on here. The Bangor Athletic Hall of Fame has selected the class of 2023. In the individual athlete category, Mandy Tucker has been chosen to enter the Hall of Fame this year, and Aaron A.J. Bedezem will also enter the Hall of Fame this year. In the coaching category, our own Rick Mullenberg will be entering the Bangor Athletic Hall of Fame, and congratulations on that, Rick. These individuals will be acknowledged at the home basketball game on Thursday, February 17th, and then will be honored at the Booster Club Fun Night, February 18th, which I know tickets are available for that if people are interested in participating in that event as well. So the letters have gone out to those folks. We've also invited former Hall of Fame inductees to come back for the event as well, and looking forward to a good night honoring some well-deserving athletes and coach. So that's that. Questions on the Hall of Fame?
I'm a member of that Hall of Fame, Athletic Hall of Fame, and I just want to thank Mr. Chaplin for helping facilitate the meetings and helping us with the process of writing up the information. I appreciate that, Mr. Chaplin.
Yeah, I would second that as well. He does an outstanding job with all of those things. So thank you. Facilities projects update, just a little bit of update for you on the design side. The design team, which is the admin team and the Nexus folks and the architecture team, met again on January 5th. We are getting much closer on the plans for the elementary school. If you remember, all of the drawings that we had at referendum time, at vote time, were concept only. So we are still talking the same amount of square footage. We are still talking the same amount of remodeling, but actually figuring out where walls are going, what's going to be assigned where, and those types of things. And feeling better about that. We've had one user group then on January 5th, right after that meeting, where we brought the special ed team in from the elementary school and really talked through some of their wants and needs and kind of how that applies to the space that we have for them them. And we should see some drafts from the architects on that on January 26th when we have our next meeting. So we're excited for that. Tomorrow, actually, we're doing a building tour of the newest elementary over in Sparta, which our architectural firm has helped or did help design or did design. So they've got some things that they just want us to see as far as especially the new addition and what that might look like. So we're looking forward to that tour tomorrow. Elementary food service group is also meeting tomorrow. So the folks that are in that space on a daily basis, Mike will be really involved on the shipping and receiving type part. That building, to get the logistics of it, that boiler room is just not in a great place, but we've got to work around that. So we've got some ideas on how to do that. So that is happening tomorrow. Followed then, the next meeting would be January 26th. We'll have about a 2-hour meeting. The first hour is going to be kind of where we are with the elementary school updates. The second hour, we're kind of kicking off the work at the middle school, high school, where we look at those concept drawings and kind of get the whole team up to speed and start to think about some simple changes or simple things that we need to think about. We'll also be scheduling a couple of user group meetings for the weight room, fitness area, and the tech ed area. So we'll be scheduling those at that point in time as well, where we can really dig in deep with those people that will be using that space. So that's kind of fun on that side. Contracts for Nexus should be ready for our February meeting. I got the architectural contracts back today from Bob, from our attorney, with his suggestions and edits. I should have the other ones by the end of the construction one by the end of the week. I hope to have both of those back to Nexus for the kind of this back and forth that will happen. I hope to have those back to them on Monday with our requests for changes to make sure that we're in a good place. So more to that to come, but we're in line as I had hoped for the February meeting for the contract approvals. On the financial side, there's a lot been going on, more so than the design side, it feels like. So the first round of $9.25 million bond anticipation note closed, and that was at 4.84% interest with Huntington Bank out of Ohio. That immediately went into our accounts, and we got our statements on that account on December 31st, and we'll get one monthly, and we're working on it, kind of a report for you that you'll be able to see monthly, but in that half of month's time, on the cash fluid parts of that, we've already earned $6,511 on interest. And the projections for that in the time that it will be in our accounts is right up $490,000, $491,000 is what they're anticipating that making an interest over the life of that holdings. Some of that is due to the fact that because we'll have the second $10 million in time that we'll actually spend the second $10 million first. Some of that first $9 million we locked up for a longer term, which gave us much better rates and gives us better yields that way. Round one, so that round one will be sold on the bond market. We anticipate that sale happening somewhere between the 23rd and 25th of January, so in 2 weeks. That bond will be sold for $8,115,000, and the difference in that is, where it was a $9.25 million bond. The difference in that is because we've levied this year for $1.6 million or something like that. We're actually prepaying, which the good part is we are paying that before we have to pay interest on it for a 20-year period of time or whatever that may be. So that amount is actually less than the full amount. So $1.135 million will be paid towards our debt, putting us ahead on our debt schedule this year. So that's a good thing. round two, so the $10 million that will be borrowed in 2023, will close on January 24th, and the packet is here. Julie and Joni just put a couple signatures in that. That will go to Merchants Bank out of Onalaska at a lower rate than the initial one of 4.18%. That came in well. We were happy with that. The initial investment, as we look at that with PMA, of that first round, that second round of funding, the $10 million, we stand to make somewhere around 4.56% in interest while we hold those funds, and expect to make about $312,000 off of those funds while we have them there. Again, those will not stay as long. Those will get spent actually before that first round that we've put in place. So it kind of crazy thinking about some of those numbers, but again, as the longer we go, we will be I'll be updating you on how those look. We will soon begin the process. Once that's closed, it has to settle, and then we will sell that on the bond market as well. And I'll keep you guys updated on what that looks like. Angie and I have worked to complete two kind of important interviews to verify our financial information so that investors are motivated to purchase those long-term bonds. The first one is we went through a process with Quarles and Brady called Bond Counsel, where they verified all of our information, financial information, kind of the state of the district and all of those types of things. It went really well. They then put a letter together that the investors have an opportunity to review when they're thinking about, is this a good investment, and how that works moving forward. We also have completed the credit rating process with Moody, and Brian spoke to this the last time he was here. Our district has been right around that 1A standpoint for a while, and I think he shared with us that it was aspirational. It would be amazing if we could get to the 3A, but we should be really happy, especially with the this being the largest amount of debt that the district has taken, to stay at that 1A. And after those conversations and after Moody did their review, we did stay at the A1 rating. So that's a real positive for us. It's where we anticipated, where we had hoped to be throughout this process. So it allows us to continue moving forward as we had planned. So that was some good work done. Last piece, I guess, on the referendum, as we do this, and as we have some of the financial documents that I share with you, as we have some of the drafts of the building designs, we really want to be able to share those with the public as well. So our web page that we had that was informational for referendum ahead of time has been updated on our web page, and it has now more current about the process that we're going through. So that is live. You can review it anytime, and we will do our best to keep that information current. And I'll make sure I put a statement out to our families and Facebook and stuff when some of the new drawings have come out, and there'll be things that people are interested in seeing. So we want to make sure that we're sharing this process with the community, because the community has been incredible in the support of our school. So the Nexus team has been great with us, working with us on that website as well. Any questions in general about the facilities projects and the updates and those types of things?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, David.
Yep.
District action agenda, set open enrollment caps for the 2023-2024 school year. We have a file attachment on page 14.
Yeah. So this one, this is the sheet that we you see every year. It does not. We are not saying that this is how we will staff our district. We are saying these are our current numbers, and where do we anticipate needing to put caps if we need to put any caps. We definitely have some some numbers that we're going to have to address at the elementary school. both up and down. I think that staffing conversation will come later in March and how we do that. But I think when we look at where our availability is and where our space is, the one area that becomes a challenge for us is speech and language. So as you look through this sheet, and as we've worked on this and had many conversations with Mr. Chaplin about this, we feel like for next school year we need to put a cap on our speech and language open enrollment. So a student coming in with a speech and language would be denied open enrollment just because we don't have the capacity with our staff to keep up on that caseload. That's basically the action that's being taken here. No place else would we be looking at capping open enrollments.
Just a quick question. How does that work with the junior class where the capacity is so much higher than the rest? Is it just taking an average of what we have and what we can hold? Like, just seems like a big jump to me.
So on that one, Lisa, we have one more section involved in there. So it's the class size max times the sections. And that's our largest class, throughout the entire 612. That's moving up. So right now they're in 3 sections as sophomores, so that one would be higher this year. And so then we roll that forward into the junior class.
And again, I would just stress this is not about where teachers are assigned at this point in time. This is not about class sizes at this time. We do take that into account. We're looking at that and we're starting to forecast. We really get to those discussions when we look at the staffing. For this purpose, in January, we are required to set those caps, and we feel as we review this data, the one place that we would need the cap is on speech and language. So we're looking for action. Motion to approve the open enrollment caps for the 23-24 school year as presented that would cap our speech and language.
I'll move to approve the open enrollment caps for the 23-24 school year as presented with the speech and language capped as is, or for no new open enrollment.
A second.
Motion made by Joni, seconded by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Policy updates.
Yeah. So Joni did a nice job just talking about the meeting process. The overview is available there for you in your packet and available on board docs. Goes through the policies that are there. As a logistical piece for the board, remember when we're doing revisions to policies, it's a 1 reading. So this is the last time we will see them for a while. If we had any new policies, we do the 2 readings. So everything that we're approving tonight will go into place, and we will be moving forward with that. Any questions on any of the policies?
If there's no questions, after a review, I will make a motion to approve the policy revisions found in volume 31, number 2, as reviewed by our committee.
I'll second.
Motion made by Joni, seconded by Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Personnel?
Yeah, this one we've been waiting for quite some time. We've had the custodial opening for almost a year. Hasn't it been since Tim left? And we've had, I give a shout out to a couple of gentlemen that have been coming in too in the evening at the elementary school, kind of doing partial shifts to get through that. And they've done a great job. They helped us through the summer and everything. We appreciate what they have done, but they are both ready to be done and on their way and just sub sporadically versus being in there every night. So we thank them for that. Jim Kapanke had actually shown interest a few months back earlier in the fall, and actually tried a different opportunity and it wasn't for him. Came back and contacted us over Christmas break actually, and came in and spoke with us after break. And I think it's going to be a really good fit for us moving forward. And the team just feels like this is going to be great to have that stability in place at the elementary school again. So he will take over at nights at the elementary school starting next Monday, and he will have next Monday with no students in the building, where he'll be able to work with Bruce all day and really kind of get to know the building and the expectations. And then actually one of the gentlemen that has been working at night, we will have come in with him for a week or two and just make sure he's got the routine down and has his questions answered. So try to make it an easy transition for him. So looking for approval of the custodian hire.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Jim Kapanke as full-time custodian, effective January 16, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Lisa, seconded by Joni. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. To adjourn to closed session.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Tina, seconded by Lori. We'll start with roll call vote. Joni?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. We are now in closed. We are back in open session. No action. I ask for adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Joni, seconded by Lori to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, everyone.